ya inganta mana rayuwa daga makaranta zuwa asibiti, taimako masu aiki, masu hannun jari, masu shaguna, titi, ya yi mana garuwa, an wallafa mana komai ya yi mana mai kyau a cikin garin. Ubangiji Allah ya mayar da shi kan kujeransa.
Wannan kaman wannan gidan da ake gani, gidajen duk suna cikin wannan rami. Da ya zo aka yi masa kuka sai ya ɗauko wannan alkawari zai yi mana wannan lambatun, gashi kuma insha Allah ya sa ya idar da wannan. Mun gode.
Wannan sako ne daga PLM Pintiri Agenda Group 2023 bisa ayyukan da ya yi na cancanta da kuma kamala, a maimaita mana shi shekara ta 2023.
Every day, we are exposed to a variety of information from the larger society and on social media. How credible are such messages? Nobody loves to be deceived. Nobody wants to be fooled. Stop the creation and spread of fake news. Don't be in a hurry to share messages. Verify facts and source before spreading. Fake news is harmful.
Thank you so very much for making an appointment, a date with us on Safiya Breakfast Show this lovely Wednesday morning. My name is Aaron Isaac. How's the heat in your neighborhood, your area?
It's midweek, viewers, and it's good to have you join us on Safiya Breakfast Show this wonderful Wednesday morning. The heat in my area is undescribable.
Okay.
So undescribable.
So with tiredness, we wake up with heaviness, we wake up with stress, and then you sleep tired. And just to eat.
This is hunger.
Okay.
Hunger.
And that's something I've noticed about Abdullahi. I don't know. I think we need to do something about his eating mode this time around, because it's quite undescribable. He's someone who manages, but today, most recent, you tend to see him eat virtually everything that comes his way, in between. Yeah. And
looks like plus 1.5 already.
And then his story is making him look like a tortoise.
You're not supposed to be in the science class because a woman. And I said, excuse me.
Okay, so like, your own environment seemed different from my own environment.
People differ.
Yeah, because like our environment, the way we were sent to science classes was completely different. It was outside choice. It was outside choice.
Yeah.
It was based for mathematics, English language, integrated sciences, agricultural sciences. Good grades, like very good grades. All of you are lecturers, sciences, and so it does not, look at gender in this instance. It's about good grades. So if it's a lady that had such good grades, sciences,
I think a lot of there's a misconnection. I think I'll put it that way, where we'll see, because my friend is in science school, I think I should be in science school. And a lot of persons do not understand.
My younger sister just woke up one night and said, this is my decision, I want to go to Federal College of Education. My dad just turned his face the other way. Given to that request, So she took the bold step and spoke with my elder brother. And my elder brother said, okay, FC, you want to go? She said, yes. All right, here's the money for the form. Go get the form. And here's the money for your tuition fee, but don't tell your dad yet. And she bought the form and did her registration and everything, and my dad was still in DAC. It was pretty much later that my dad was, we had to call him sitting down. Dad, see, please, you have to understand, not everyone will go through one system. Let that freedom to make choices for themselves. And my dad said, what do you guys mean? He said, she's just, what she's telling you is,
yes, we're supposed to be
there before myself. Yeah. And so she's using you guys as a lesson to us.
While growing up, I for one, wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
Yes, because I felt, okay, if I am a teacher, I close
not
this one. The one I wanted was the classroom teaching. So that was because I felt
thank God for technology, because sometimes I question you and Bumi your position in the classroom, how it's going to be. So
he was now the pregnant woman doing the mopping as she walked past with dirty shoes.
Yeah.
He was like, are you seriously right? Are you Should I play back the whole script?
Yeah.
This is how I felt.
Okay.
When you did what you did.
See, we're not considerate. It's not like we're not.
I'm not saying you're not considerate.
But sometimes, certain, like this kind of video is actually trying to paint a picture of generalization, which I'm not too comfortable with.
Goodness!
Yes, we are caring, and
you're not caring.
We are a huge shoulder for the woman.
It's safe to say that sometimes when you see a woman doing her thing right, it
clips. And so he comes in that place to bridge the gap, because we all had problem meeting up with the standard in keeping the house clean.
I had that issue.
So it was a problem. I'll tell you, Brenda, it's still a case for us to deal with. That is the standard.
I used to remember when we mopped, then there was no mopper as such.
You have to use the mop, the rag.
Yeah,
you put it in water, squeeze, and then it comes.
So there's this time my mom would stand at the door and bend.
Yeah.
And look at if there's some kind of unnecessary lines. And
sometimes you'll be very tricky and smart. We just wave the rag. And then
it's as if we're in the same house. So I don't know why she was always saying that.
That's the thing about women.
But you didn't want
there's no longer
that parental
family care. There's no nurturing any longer.
Exactly. So the society
relegated such responsibility to the classrooms
and the society.
The society doesn't even help, because before now the society was part of it.
They are mostly negative.
Yes, the negatives.
Yes,
when they see the people from society and they don't have anybody.
We see mothers or parents. Parents, yes, to some large extent, and also helping their words, because you see, like I dare not give my son my phone for any reason.
No.
I dare not.
For one, I would agree with her. There, yes.
For any reason. The only time I can give him my phone
is this moment. TBN is here to, give a directive or issue a directive to that, effect. CBN is still holding back. I believe it's a tactics. It's a deployment of strategy. I'm trying to understand it in that perspective. But as it stands, many Nigerians are going through tough times, and it's not an easy moment for us as Nigerians, because the queue is becoming more and more unbearable rather for Nigerians. In parts of Nigeria, like in Ogun State, people are reacting, because of what is happening. And so I don't know when we'll be able to breathe respite to this whole issue. But we pray that we'll be able to come over it, and things will get back to normal. And as we prepare for the elections, also come March 11, for states that will have it, we ask 1993 rather, because I have two dates. It's 1993, everyone writes vividly. So 1993.
Yes, with Malaysia, MH370 and Boeing 777 with the
about and how vivid the concerns of these political parties. We're taking a look at that on the show today.
Alright, to also offer basket this morning, there's a new social media page that is brother. We would like to talk to the brain behind Adama on the Go to unpack some more reasons to why this is coming on board. What is this really going to bring, or what will it change looking at the advent of this social media promotion?
Adama on the Go. Interesting. And you should expect some of our other regular features on the program today. And by the way, we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Click the subscription button for YouTube to get a reminder anytime we go on live. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll be taking a look at select national dailies and what they have on the offering today, the 8th day of March 2023.
Every day, we are exposed to a variety of information from the larger society and on social media. How credible are such messages? Nobody loves to be deceived. Nobody wants to be fooled. Stop the creation and spread of fake news. Don't be in a hurry to share messages. Verify facts and source before spreading. Fake news is harmful.
son dan sandan da a shirye yake ya ba da taimakonsa a duk lokacin da aka buƙace shi.
Da ya kamata. Ina son dan sandan da ba zai ci zarafina ba ko ya kama ni ba tare da wani dalili ba.
Ina so a ɗauke ni da mahimmanci akan aikina ta yanda mutane masu gaskiya ba za su dinga tsoro na ba.
Ina son dan sandan da ba zai tambaye ni na gora ba.
Ina son albashi mai kyau kuma a biya ni akan lokaci.
Shin hakan zai iya yiwuwa? Da ingantaccen dokoki.
Ingantacciyar hanyar samar da kudaden gudanarwa. Horaswa?
Da kuma haɗin kan al'umma.
Yana iya yiwuwa.
Yana iya yiwuwa.
Yana iya yiwuwa.
Thank you for staying with us on Safiya Breakfast Show this lovely Wednesday morning. It's time for us to take you on right across the front pages of select national dailies to find out what is featured on their cover pages, as well as stories that are reflective on the inside pages also. And by the way, a quick reminder that you can follow this broadcast live on Facebook and on YouTube. And we have our in-house reviewer, Mr. Victor Olika. He's going to be giving us his thoughts on some of the stories featured on on the papers today, as well as dissect and analyze in-depthly these stories for your, own piece of information. Mr. V, it's a pleasure to have you join me on the interview this morning. And how's the heat?
It's not been easy.
I can tell. I can tell.
This is the most terrible moment anybody can think of. Yeah, no, the rains are going to come soon. Very early, because already there are rains in other parts of the country. So I think it's going to come quite early.
Yeah, but one thing that we are failing to start making preparations for is the prediction by NIMET that would be
prepare for anything.
Okay.
You know what happened in 2022 will also happen again this year. It's very massive.
Okay.
So I see it happening again. We don't prepare for anything.
All right. So share with us, what are your therapies for the heat? Do you have any?
Yeah, people should drink more water. Drink a lot of fluid, like a lot of fluid. But this is a period, so people should drink more of water. Because if you're not careful, you drink more soda. These points in time, because more water will help you nourish your skin and refresh you. I think it's better. And leave your room ventilated. It's very important, even at night.
Okay.
Leave it ventilated. So
exactly.
But again, just leave your rooms ventilated.
I think it's a fight. It's a battle between leaving your room or your windows open and mosquitoes. Because I was actually thinking that they should not be around right now.
No, but they are not. During this period, you have less mosquitoes.
But there was a melody played in my ears early this morning.
One did that to me this morning too, and I was like, where did it come from?
Okay, so you've heard, and let's see how we can help ourselves. All right, let's begin the review. Taking a look at the Punch newspaper for a start. The Punch newspaper. We have disturbing stories for those who are fond of flying as a means of transport. It says aviation fuel hits 840 naira, and airlines predict flight delays as a result of all of this drama. Aviation fuel hits 840 naira. Over 200 cyber attacks blocked during presidential poll. This is according to the federal government. Beaver's data intact, INEC tells court and political parties. Let me have you, speak about this issue of cyber attacks on the, portal of INEC. It's telling us that there were attempts, to hack into the system, and maybe perhaps, create a bit of confusion with data that were uploaded on the server. Because I read the story yesterday. It says the attack did, state its position of readiness to counter all of this, and right now they're telling us that they were able to handle the situation. What do you make of this?
Yes, for every those who are software engineers will tell you that that's the essence of creating on every system that up there in the internet. There's quite a lot of persons who are ready, waiting to hack into your system at every point in time. Even the banks, if they tell you what they go through in trying to protect their servers, some people hack into their servers too. And so you should expect this, in the cyber world. But again, we are lucky that Galaxy Backbone Limited was able to handle the situation, and I think the government is beginning to train more persons on how to handle this situation. I knew it was going to happen during the elections. There are persons I knew. There are persons who have been paid, who have collected money from some big persons who are involved in politicking to say we can help you. When you create servers like this, when you create apps, you also try to see how you can create that cyber police, that security around it to ensure that you ward off some of these threats.
Yeah, cyber policing is most important, it's most necessary when you create platforms such as this. And well done for helping keep the integrity of the portal, intact. But let me have you respond to this story that is credited to INEC. It says Beaver's data intact. INEC tells court and political parties. And then there's been intrigues. The drama has been one of massive concern by political parties, especially for the deployment of the Beavers in the March 11th governorship elections.
Yes, the court has granted INEC, that leave to inspect. That is what they've granted. They granted the Labour Party and the PDP that leave to inspect all the documents that were used for that election. So, and Beaver's machine is part of what the material that was used for that election. So that means that these two political parties will have to inspect, data on that machine. But again, INEC is in a feast here because that same machine will be used for the governorship elections, on the 11th of March. And we have about 176 polling units, so they have about 176 Beavers machine. So for them to be able to use that machine to suit the purpose of the governorship election, but these two political parties are saying if you tamper with that machine, that means they're going to tamper with whatever information data that is on that machine. But again, INEC has gone to court to say no. We are telling you, we are putting out there to say where the server and the data remains there and we can use the machine. But what are experts saying about this? I don't know if you've listened to opinions around this from experts. No, what most persons, and with the little that I know, is that once you upload this stuff to the server, it will remain in the server. You can do anything you want to do with the machine. But again, with what has happened in Nigeria, you cannot trust anyone. You can't trust the system. So most persons don't trust that system. And what INEC should have done, what I think they should have done before now, is to envisage that there was going to be an electoral dispute after the presidential election to ensure that you have more Beavers machines available, so that even at least you have a separate Beavers you're using for the governorship election. Because even after the governorship elections, you're going to have electoral disputes. You also need to use that machine. So I think they should have. They didn't prepare for this. They didn't really prepare for this because they have gone to court. The court is going to rule today on that matter. They have gone to court to say, give us that the restraining order that was given, so that we can tamper with the Beavers machine. We can reconfigure it. We are assuring these two parties that have gone to court that their data will remain intact on the server. But data that was gotten from the server was different from the first. So they had a complete after. But the court used what was gotten initially from the server to say that you guys did not produce what you presented later before the case. So it was a complication for PDP. Is trying to be very careful because don't be surprised that this Beaver machine maybe are still uploading information onto the server because it takes time to upload. If you reconfigure, it takes time to upload because it uploads gradually depending on the speed of your server. If your server is not strong enough, if the speed is not strong, it's this Beaver machine uploading information at the same time the governor, the presidential, the House of Assembly, the National Assembly at the same time. So it's a complicated situation. So if you allow INEC now to retain at the end of the day and the Labour Party. Let me take you up on the earlier thoughts you shared where you said INEC appears not to be ready. But he made this as a challenge. That is the INEC chair himself. He said if you're not satisfied with the process, then go to court. And now that they've gone to court and are trying to challenge the entire process, is trying to also raise another issue that is mentioned as to be the reason why these individuals have gone to court. So where does this leave us in the long run? So it's a very big problem. If the court does not grant them that leave to vary, if the court does not vary the order given for Labour and the PDP to inspect electoral materials, that means those machines will not be able for the governorship election this Saturday. So we don't know what the court will do. We don't know what the court will decide. But if the court goes ahead and asks them, okay, vary the order and ask them to reconfigure the machines, then at the end of the day, whatever data is being presented before the court by the PDP and Labour might not be authentic, might not be complete data. So that's where the problem is. So what I'm saying is that I don't really think this through. And the person who advised them to go into the usage of the BVAS machines. Maybe did not tell them the implication of all of this. They didn't understand all of this because this is the first time. The other elections they've done are off-season elections and just one state at a time and they were. But this is like a problem for them. They didn't understand the use of the BVAS. I think they didn't understand it, and that's why they have gotten into this mess. I think they should have I know there are persons in Nigeria, who understand how software works and how all of these machines work. They should have employed those persons in their commission to ensure, this wouldn't have been a problem if those machines uploaded results from the polling unit to the portal in real time. We won't be talking about this. That's a fact. Because that was what Dino Malaya was saying during the collation of the result, that if these persons, collation officers, are coming to present results from the states to us, let's see what is on the portal, let's compare it with what they're announcing. So by now we wouldn't have been talking about maybe you need to reconfigure or not reconfigure the machines, because we know already that we've seen data from the portal. But as at this moment that we'll talk, the BVAS machines are still uploading data to the portal, the presidential results. Why would we now reconfigure these BVAS machines when we've not uploaded all you have on the server? So I think it's a dicey situation.
Yeah, the intrigues continue, there's no doubt about that, and we'll just keep our fingers crossed to see what will happen at the end of the day. Yes, an interesting development. LP, that is Labour Party, the Nigerian People's Party, kick as police bar dogs from polling booths. In the first place, why would you need to?
The dogs coming to vote, so I don't know why they're kicking. Some persons want to bring their dogs,
to ward people.
Yeah, but again, if there's any dog that should come to the polling units are those that belong to the police. I know they have we have special dogs. Yeah, special dogs. So the police, the security agencies, it shouldn't be dogs of politicians. We don't know what they are there to do. Dogs have no business around the polling units.
All right. The big story obviously speaks to where Nigerians, or what Nigerians are actually going through right now. Fuel stations, orders, reject old naira, banks ration cash. Rider says accepting old 500, 1,000 will hamper, says retailers, orders. CBN adamant refuses to direct banks to obey Apex Court judgment. Still talking about this, the intrigues over the old naira note. There was a judgment on Friday, and CBN up to this moment is
I don't know why Emefiele is bent on suffering Nigerians. They told us initially that why they took money circulation to curb vote buying, but again, these two reasons have failed. They did not meet up to our expectations. So, and the Supreme Court has gone ahead to say, release this old naira notes, the 1,000 naira, the 500 naira, let them get back into circulation until 31st of December. But up to this moment, giving directives to commercial banks. But again, some commercial banks yesterday in Abuja and Lagos started paying out the 1,000 naira notes and the 500 naira notes. But even as they pay them out to customers, because even as they pay their ration, their amount that but even at that, banks, some retailers are not collecting this money from them.
Because
even the filling stations that were interviewed by journalists, especially at the filling station, some of the owners have said that until they get the directive from the CBN, they cannot collect this old naira note. So the president should direct the CBN governor to make an official statement to say we are obeying, not making even the old naira note available. The policy is a good one, cashless is a good, but again the cashless policy should run side by side with the cash policy. Because you need cash whether you like it or not.
And the other thing to worry about is the state of infrastructure for even the cashless policy.
It's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult, and we are paying about the weekend, like a lot of transactions over the weekend to do that. So what do you do? And whether you like it or not, the cash policy must run side by side with the cashless policy, because there are certain things you cannot begin to do transfer. I go to a woman that says Kose and Friday, and I say I want to transfer to you. A man that rides keke, you want to transfer 100 naira, 70 naira to him. It doesn't work that way. So cash must be made available for people.
There are too many concerns around this. I need for you to see this picture. If the director can put up the front page of the Punch newspaper once again. You can see the unbearable, queue at one of the running weeks, let me not say days, weeks now. This is what we have to do with, and people are growing impatient as a result.
Yeah, I think we should end this. The president should end this. It's absolute nonsense. The policy has been messed up. It's not working the way we think it will have worked. So the president should end this right now and let Nigerians get back to. As I told you, I think there's nothing running through their minds. They have no idea on how to solve the situation. I think the CBN governor is the man that should be able to handle all of this. If he tells the president, Mr. President, can I push back the old naira currency into circulation, the president might give another approval. But the only thing you need to do is to regulate the amount of money in circulation. And when you've done it, already they've done it. They said you cannot do more than 20,000 naira withdrawal a day. Yes. So that's a regulates the volume of money in circulation. Yes, the volume of money in circulation. I mean, people should just have monies to even if I have, I can't withdraw like 20,000 like every day. If something that is more is over that, I can do a transfer. If we are doing like the 200-300 transfer, that's understandable. And I think the system is getting overburdened by little transfers that we do. Yeah, it is. 500, 200. I go to buy bread, I go with my ATM, it's unbearable. People resign. South Middle Belt Alliance CSOs tell INEC boss Mahmoud Yakubu, and so it's a chant for him to resign, and that's due to the outcome of the presidential election. They say he should resign. Do you think this calls were Nigerians? I think it's head high. Yes, he should cover his face in shame, because this is the worst election, that Nigerians, have seen. Like the presidential candidate of there was no server, there was nothing, and we conducted a free and fair election. So at this time we think we should improve in our electoral process. Mahmoud has taken us back, like 20 years back. I think he should resign. I think he has no business staying in INEC anymore. He should go and cover his face in shame, unless someone who can do the job come and take over. And I have a problem, just on the sideline, where you have intellectuals, academics, coming to be a part of, this entire process. I think they're doing it. Since they got professors, the academics into the electoral process, since then we'll be having problems. Because you remember in the 2019 elections or 2015, when the one from the coalition officer from Rivers State, when he came and made a very big blunder, like a mess of himself, on air, on national television. These are persons who you think, should know more than us. These are persons who you think should be learned. These are persons who you think are professors, are doctorate degree holders, should know more, should be able to impart quality and positive knowledge onto Nigerians. And these are persons who are taking us back. And I think they are part of the problem of this process, the electoral process we have in the problem last time. Getting some of the things they require from the government, because when you play roles like this in national politics, and here they are being fingered in something that is also ungodly. I just wish I would get it right. Other disturbing stories is UNICEF lists Nigeria, Afghanistan, 10 others as worst hit by nutrition crisis. You should understand that there will be a nutrition crisis. Name as reps member-elect replaces Sokoto REC. Talk to me about the intrigues in Sokoto. Yesterday, that came as a news flash, and it was a shocker. What do you think is happening or happened in Sokoto that led to the removal from the REC there? I don't know. I can't. I tried finding out yesterday where I couldn't, but I know that the APC and the PDP in Sokoto are at loggerheads. There's a very big crisis and a lot of finger pointing by these two parties. But again, I don't know if the state governors are very, very powerful. So that's why you see a lot of attention is always geared towards ensuring that their own persons come into power. So I don't know why the rep was on the PDP.
All right, and if you've not noticed, it's happening. Government extends electronic transfer levy to domiciliary accounts. I saw that yesterday and I was quite shocked. I don't know if you've seen, the deduction on your own account.
They asked us to go into, they say it's cashless policy. We should do more of electronic transfer. Now we are being levied. And you are being levied again. We don't understand. This is not to say, before now you used to have different kind of levies. Card maintenance levy, account maintenance levy. And these charges, VAT, you pay VAT for everything. You pay for everything. And they say ATM holding charges. You are the one holding your ATM, and they are telling they say they are maintaining your ATM for you. I don't know how they maintain your ATM for you.
It's robbing Peter to pay Paul in this instance. Nigerians don't have enough.
The problem, I think.
On that account is about 280 naira or something like that. Now imagine if you're doing this to 1 million customers, what the bank will make.
Meanwhile, you pay like 1,000 naira. 1,000 naira every time it expires. You pay like 1,000 naira.
So I think they're milking us dry, and when they finish milking us, I don't know what else they will need to mine any longer. The big story on the Guardian newspaper says Tinubu files suit as Appeal Court rules on INEC's move to reconfigure beavers. A rider says Obi opposes INEC, seeks physical inspection of election materials. 70 CSOs kick, PDP rejects INEC's bid to reconfigure beavers machine. Court summons INEC, Wike orders over suit to suspend Saturday's Guba polls in Rivers State. Wow, intrigues. 10th National Assembly won't be Tinubu's rubber stamp, says Ushomale. Shekaro absent senators-elect receive certificates of return. One too many intrigues. And obviously, International Women's Day, Buhari celebrate Nigerian women as stakeholders canvass girl-child development. Handed, to them on a platter.
No, you shouldn't. They should go out and grab it and get it. I want to see women, coming out and vying for governorship positions. I want to see a woman Senate president. I want to see a woman. We've had before a woman, speaker. Speaker, yes. We want to see more of this. We want to see a woman governor in Nigeria. So they should wake up. They should support themselves. Look for that.
Subscribe to this particular argument.
The opportunities are there. Nobody will give it to you on a platter of gold because it's a contest. Politics is all about contest. It's about you getting more numbers. And I know the women can get more numbers, but the problem the women have is they don't support themselves. You see a woman preferring to support a man than to support the woman fold because they were like, why do we need to? You see, they have this natural natural hatred for each other, very natural hatred for each other when it comes to that level of of trying to see them progress in life. So I think that's why you see for some men who have two wives, a lot of them, like 90%, you see there's always this rivalry. Thing. So I think they should try all of this and move towards ensuring that they get onto that governance process in Nigeria.
Okay, the president-elect says his wife is no longer going to the National Assembly. She will be. All right, let me just leave it at
the other room.
Thank you, Mr. Victor, for joining me on the paper radio today. Comments on our Facebook page. I hope you stick around to find out.
Are you thinking security and safety? Bonfredi Global Security Africa is an fiscal security system, managing guard force, industrial corporate security services, hostage negotiation, executive VIP and celebrity protection, campus security and safety structure, anti-kidnapping strategies, escort management, private criminal investigation and training, plus general honesty, discretion, integrity, providing a platform to mitigate crime, violence, and terrorism. Our office is at Architect Bello Ahmed Plaza, beside Federal Medical Center, Lamido Zubairu Bypass, Yola South, Adamawa State. promoting security and safety, Team Von Frederick Global Security Africa.
Security, it is not just my business, it is also yours.
For more on all discussions on Safiya Breakfast Show, follow us on Facebook. Visit www.facebook.com/Safiya on TV Goto.
We have the talking point who says March 8th is marked annually as International Women's Day. How would you celebrate the woman on a day like this? This is what we have on our platform. To begin with, we have coming from Abdullahi Balabikti. Abdullahi, born of every family. Their role in the family is very vital. Thus, I'm always proud of the woman that gave birth to me. That woman is a superwoman. Kudos to all the women around the globe. Thank you very much, Bala. Muhammad Idris Babangida, they say more respect to each and every woman, and happy International Women's Day to all our mamas. Thank you very much for that comment. Elizabeth Peter did say, hello everyone. I will pray that the Lord should always give us wisdom and be blessed by him. Thank you very much. Vivian Joshua did say, women are the bedrock of every home. Women need to be celebrated in a unique way. God will continue to bless and sustain them. Happy Musa did say, women are the pillars of men's life, so whatever good is offering to them cannot be perhaps overemphasized. I wish all our women happy life, peace, sound health, and prosperity around the globe. Thank you very much for that comment. Saad Usman did say, happy Women's Day. They are our mothers, sisters, daughters, also wives. No woman, no life, as the what Bob Marley did say. No man, no cry. Stop marginalizing them in all sectors of life, most especially in leadership and education. And as widespread any successful woman, a man rather, there's a woman behind him. Love you all women because you are a wonderful creature. Without you, life is not complete. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Saad Usman. Lastly, we have this comment from Ibrahim Tole Muhammad. Muhammad said, our women deserve to be celebrated in a very special way on their special day. I will do that by spending the whole day with her, appreciating what she has been doing as a caregiver to the family, and presenting her a special gift. I will try and make cash available for her to save her from the naira crunch that is currently destabilizing so many family members. Interesting. I know a lot of persons are going to do special stuff today because today is International Women's Day. Thank you guys for dropping by on our social connect platform. We'll go on a break. We'll be back immediately with Punchline.
Every day, we are exposed to a variety of information from the larger society and on social media. How credible are such messages? Nobody loves to be deceived. Nobody wants to be fooled. Stop the creation and spread of fake news. Don't be in a hurry to share messages. Verify facts and source before spreading.
This is Ikolo community, and this is Otana community. As election time nears, politicians arrive with money, Members of Ikolo community sell their vote, but Otana community refuses to be settled. They vote for the candidates of their choice.
I do solemnly swear that everything
after election, the Ikolo school needs repairs, but the politician has already settled them. Otana hospital needs repairs too. Otana community demands action and gets results. Your vote is powerful. It builds the future. Don't be settled.
No sit down look. No sit down look.
Make una no sit down look o.
Alright, so this is Punchline, and we'll be speaking to INEC's inadequacies as well as its inefficiencies, especially with the conduct and the outcome of the highs and lows, leaving a lot for Nigerians to chew on. The Independent National Electoral Commission has been subject of so many debates on Nigeria's recent presidential election, and much of it is about the incompetence of INEC and ad hoc staff to operate the Beavers device as well as among Nigerians. As Nigerians return to poll this week, the umpire must ensure that existing gaps are closed and improved upon. Yes, I think this is one point out of so many other points that you would reckon with concerning the conduct of the polls. Where
that most Nigerians are worried about. How are they going to fine-tune this prior to the elections that we have coming on the 11th of March? Are we still going to see what we saw during the presidential elections? Are we talking about the Beavers itself, as faulty as it was? Are we talking about the ad hoc staff, some of them who engage in some unscrupulous activities? Or are we looking at the entirety of the process? How transparent?
Just says INEC needs to redeem itself come Saturday the 11th of March by deploying quality ad hoc staff that will do this job and redeem its image, because already the image has been dented, soiled already, and it is an epitome of lack of credibility. I believe this element
Yes, it's good. Independent National Electoral Commission has said that information in the bimodal voter accreditation system used for February 25th presidential poll is intact. The Electoral Commission lead counsel Tanimu Inua gave the assurance on Tuesday at the Court of Appeal in Abuja while opposing on beavers deployed in the presidential polls. Opposing the application, Inua argued it would delay the conduct of governorship and houses of assembly elections scheduled for Saturday. Earlier, Obi lead counsel Dr. Onyechi Kwezusan had argued that the essence of the application was to enable the legal team to extract data embedded in the beavers, which represent the actual results from polling units. Yes, to unpack some of these concerns as
the Electoral Act that says that result must be transmitted electronically from unit directly to the annex server, directly to the RA, which is Ward Collation Center, and from there to the local government, state, and then national. While this was not done, INEC went ahead to collect results manually, and even after collecting results manually without attending to all the various complaints that has been laid by the INEC, went on to announce about conducting another election and configure that instrument. That is the contention in court. And in my opinion, INEC is not willing to do the needful. If not, it doesn't take them time to transfer or transmit this result to the server. They created INEC RF portal for everybody to see the transparency. But INEC now the fear of INEC is that if these beavers are not released or allowed, because the court has stopped them, it has given the litigants to go and inspect and see that the result on beavers tallies with what has been announced. So Alex want to bypass load all this 176,000 if there is transparency.
Now, what do you make of all of the suspicions? Because obviously there is a lot of dark sides. There are lots of dark sides rather to all that we see concerning the February 25th election, the transmission of this on hard copy. It's still a subject to a lot of debate, and here we are in court trying to get an understanding in terms of interpretation of what to do regarding these particular devices. What do you think or make of all of this suspicion, and how much is this affecting the credibility and the integrity?
By configuring the the informations on beavers amounted to a total rape on democracy, because the litigants are claiming clearly that the result they have is not tallying with what INEC is announcing. Once they upload, then the Form EC8A that is in the hands of various political parties through their agents at every level, see that anybody can calculate. But the fact that there is no transparency, that is why INEC is now trying to hide behind one finger that it will affect the
March election.
It cannot. While elections were being held in Anambra, Ekiti, and Osun State continuously, before 24 hours, all the results are ready. So what is now preventing them? What are they hiding from the public?
So what do you make of its INEC state of double standard? Because just as mentioned, the off-season election, this results real time, on its portal. But here we are, although INEC is giving excuses that it is a much bigger election, the reason why there are glitches that is hindering it from performing its sign duty effectively.
Nigerians, that one, this portal can never be hacked. 2, that they are going to transmit this election as it comes in continuously. And 3, if they are not giving us assurance, why did they create the iron? For what reason? They have assured us. The only thing I can deduce from the action of INEC is that they are not willing to do the needful.
You use the word. We always use that word, willing.
Willing. If they are willing to do the make them
to upload.
Answer. Within 1 minute, you text it, it goes to where it's supposed to go. If there are many coming, it may hang.
With this back and forth and the kind of reports we've seen happen around town, we've also seen how international observers place of the electoral process where it's not transparent, it's not free, it's not fair, it's not credible anymore. Do you think there's still some kind of trust for INEC left in the minds of Nigerians?
No, there is no how Nigeria can trust INEC, because what INEC promises is not what they fulfill. INEC promises there is going to be free, fair, credible and transparent election. INEC admitted that some of their ad hoc staff and some of their staff collude with politicians to change things, and they are now making an announcement that they will not take part in the next gubernatorial election. Why is it that they cannot arrest these people? Are they immune? One is SIA have colluded with politicians to committed what we call it electoral offences, and they are now in police hand. You say the police, somebody in Sokoto is not doing right, you just replace him and he's sleeping in the comfort zone of his own house. Is that how we are going? The independent granted to INEC by the Nigerian 1999 Constitution, not an impunity or immunity for them to do what they like. They are subject to our laws. Even the INEC chairman himself is subject to the Nigerian laws, even the Electoral Act, because there is a section that says that dereliction from duty. If you fail to who will give you the new code, because since the beavers were not open by 8:30, I know much about these beavers. Call your architect, and he did that. They now text him the new, what do you call it, PIN. He now use that PIN code to open, and we started by 10. So you see, the INEC issue is that they have failed not just Nigeria, the whole world, because the whole world that is not adjudged to be transparent at this level, considering that we have organized the most expensive election in the INEC is not willing to do the right thing that is independent on its own to presidential election. There has been a gap of 2 weeks. What is INEC doing to upload the controversial results from beavers?
Is INEC using time as an excuse, or time frame as an excuse?
That will not work, because those people in court are learned men. Original jurisdiction of presidential election is at the Court of Appeal, meaning that those judges, none of them is less than over 20 years on the bench, not in the bar. So, and I don't think INEC will be able to play on their intelligence. They are aware that there's election come next Saturday.
On Saturday.
And they have given this order. What INEC should do now is to upload.
If the court denies INEC's request,
it means there will be no configuration of beavers, and there will be no election, because you cannot conduct election in Nigeria now based on Electoral Act Section 60.
Okay.
And what do you call it? INEC
Electoral Act really in support of this process, while at the end of the day the process is not used.
There's nothing wrong with the law. The law is clear. The implementation. No, I know one thing is that, in the past, the issue of electronic transmission of results is not. So manipulation can take place. But now that it is electronically transmitted and it is mandatory, not at the convenience or comfort, or else it is going to affect the presidential election.
Yet we still saw manipulation despite how much effort is being put.
The last election is not manipulated. What took place was that failure of INEC to do the transparency. The result is there now. In each of the police stations, political parties. So some of the situation room, almost all the political parties, the four big, have situation room where they are compiling results, and they have their result which is different from what INEC is pronouncing. And there are so many pictures, videos going about in social media of what is going on, where some stipends are used to adjust results.
So, and all of the qualifiers that we use, there should be a free, fair, and credible poll. Appears to have been rubbished by what Nigerians allude to a rape of democracy by the outcome of the February 20th. So the integrity of INEC, because INEC did speak and emphasized on the imperativeness of conducting an election that would be world class and would serve as a role model for future conduct of election on the open to every Nigerian.
Is playing politics. If INEC is not playing politics, when they discover that their server could not go, immediately after announcement, gradually, this is our 12 days, they're supposed to have uploaded all the remaining results areas used for the election since last week Thursday. What are they still waiting for 6 days after? They have not started uploading those results for people to see. Means the INEC is not transparent. We cannot continue to deceive ourselves. If INEC has integrity, this is the time we have gone to show. They are waiting for 2 days to election to claim that they want to this is not what we expected the INEC to do.
Mr. Femi Adeyero, I know you're bitter about this, observer of elections, and it appears this one has failed your pass mark.
Yes, because I've been watching them 24 hours. I'm on INEC neck.
Okay.
But surprisingly, what they promised failed.
All right, it appears INEC has broken its neck with this election, and this is what Nigerians are really not so happy about. Thank you once again, Mr. Femi Adeyero.
Thank you very much
for our best wishes today.
Yeah.
Well, you've listened to the opinion of an election expert, Mr. Femi. Satisfaction over the performance of INEC at the February 25th Presidential National Assembly polls, and it is expected that by March 11 to be conducting the governorship and state houses of assembly polls. Right now, we're at a crossroad where we don't know whether the election will hold or not. But take a break. When we come back, we'll be towing a different path on a discussion on the program today where we look at other issues.
Wannan garin kasuwa babba ne, wannan kuma garin kuka jere ne. Kamar yadda zaɓe ya karatu, 'yan siyasa sun iso da kuɗi. Al'ummar garin kasuwa babba sun sayar da ƙuri'ansu, amma al'ummar kuka jere sun ƙi su sayar da tasu ƙuri'a. Sun yi zaɓe ne bisa cancanta. Bayan zaɓe, makarantar kasuwa babba na buƙatar gyara, amma sun riga sun sayar da 'yancinsu. Shi ma asibitin kuka jere na buƙatar gyara, al'ummar kuka jere sun miƙa kokensu a gyara kuma sun cimma burinsu. Ƙuri'arka na da tasiri, tana inganta makoma. Kada ka sayar da 'yancinka.
No sit down look. No sit down look.
Make una no sit down look o.
Thank you for saying. And speaking about a thing that has come to stay within the global environment. There's no doubt that social media occupies a pivotal position in the advancement and development of global economy as well as the globe. You're not left behind because we have the Adamo on the Go. It's an initiative, a social media initiative that is geared towards informing and educating the people of Adamawa State about developmental strides that concerns them as a people. And also the platform is open for people to throw in suggestions as well as ask questions that is geared. I think I peeped through the page and I saw the volume of followers, and it tells me that you're impacting the lives of so many persons. Speak to us about what prompted this IED governance in Adamawa State.
Once again, thank you for having me. You see, when we talk about governance generally, people always narrow it to people in authority. In every society, every individual, especially an adult, have a role to play for good governance.
Sure.
One, the mediocrity and about because of the people around them, you find out they eventually miscue and start doing the wrong thing. Because whenever you begin to tell somebody that everybody in town is applauding you for either doing good or wrong, so you find out that you have failure. So what really triggered Adamawa on the Go is, at the privilege of social media, you can't do anything. The presidential and the National Assembly, what really hold it at this point in time is the social media. At the absence of the social media, I'm telling you, the level of crime and criminality that went through the process would have gone down the drain. Nobody would have noticed it. But because of the advent of the social media, you go online, you see results. It's a place you have a lot of information. You have a lot of people that come to seek information. Now, in Adamawa State, at the advent of Pinterest administration, we now look at it that the governor of Adamawa State, is doing more than other governments or other governors in other states. But a lot of people don't even know what is happening around in Adamawa State.
So they are unable to connect with
what is happening in Adamawa State. It's when the people just come around, they never knew that things like this are happening. You can neither see it on the papers. Yes, we don't have option to put it. When the governor of Gombe State came, he said something. One good turn deserves another because of what he saw. He's not a PDP person. He's an APC governor.
Yeah, I think that's one interesting aspect of it, because your choice of persons who have actually spoken about what they see changing in Adamawa State, improving in Adamawa State. It's not just tied to the political party the governor belongs to. It cuts across individuals from different political party. It gives us an impression here, isn't it?
Yes. When you go on our site, when Binani won the ticket, making record as the first female candidate, we put it up on our site because it's a plus for Adamawa State recording the first female candidate. But that does not take away the fact that it's all about Adamawa State. What we are actually looking at is good governance. When somebody is doing well, you don't put policies aside and say, yes, this person is doing well. Fintiri is a PDP governor. He got an applause from an APC federal government. So that's to tell you that he's doing well. If Fintiri is not doing as much as what they thought he would have done, nobody would have given him such an accolade.
How do you intend to sell this to the indigents of Adama and even people around the globe? Because it's very easy to just click in Adama on the go and you get to have an idea about what Adama State is. You know, a lot of persons mistake Adama for Jamaica. They feel Jamaica is the state.
It's just a click.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, what we want to do is, that's why I told you we have varieties of information. What we really want to achieve is have a place where no matter where you are in the world, you just go there and see what is happening there and then in the state, be it politics, religion, and tradition. There are posts that we did about Adamawa cultures. You go and see varieties of attires and dancing materials on the site. A lot of some of the things, it was when we started working on this project that I realized that a lot of traditional ways we don't even know exactly on what is happening and the need for improvement and suggestions. So maybe at fortnight we gather all the information, save it and have a kind of a chart of what people are saying about Adamawa State so that it can shape the policies of government for the betterment of everybody that is within Adamawa State.
Okay. Now talk to me, because I've seen comments on that page. I don't want to blow your trumpet. I'll allow you to blow your trumpet yourself. In terms of the interface and the interactions with users of that particular platform who visited your page, what are they saying? Are there positives that you can take out from it, from them?
Yeah, you find that most of the people on the page are young people, and when we make our first choice Facebook, is because Facebook is the most common.
You have a whole lot of persons,
a lot of people, those that speak English, the non-English speakers, those that does not even know what is real about, they want to register and have a space. So, and if you go there, you have some Hausa-based information and English. So, and we are still planning to have some major languages in Adamawa State to push in to the project. But people have their they are subject to their opinion.
Sure.
But in the real sense of it, democracy deals about fact. It is what is on ground you will use. You don't use opinion to cajole people to vote or whatever. So what we are trying to tell people now is when you want to vote, especially as we draw close to elections, our election is just by Saturday, by God's grace, I'm trying to make your judgment. Make sure you check what is the facts on ground. You know, there's one thing about Fintiri's government. Let me just talk about do is we boost most of our, depending on the weightiness of the information, we boost them. Sometimes in 3 days we can attract more than 10,000 viewers and followers on a particular information.
Okay, so it's not just text that you find on the platform, videos, audios, pictures, and also on that platform. More people on board. I know it has a board of directors, isn't it?
Yes, it has a board, and we have people that also pull information from the villages, from town.
Stringers.
Yes, media people that send us real town information.
Well done. Thank you so very much, and we commend what you do. Good job. Well done. And thank you very much for your time and company.
In the nearest future, the government will have to partner with us to make sure that we have more.
Let's see how that happens. Thank you very much for your time and company.